Hey, what's up, guys? Pat here. Today I'm going to do a Buzzfeed test. I got in a couple requests on my YOLO to do Buzzfeed tests, and this is a little bit of an old one. This has been done by a lot of YouTubers in the past. This is the How Much of a Feminist Are You Buzzfeed test. And Buzzfeed is obviously infamous for, uh, they're kind of proponents of radical feminism, of some of the more contentious tenets of feminism. So let's take this and see if I'm a feminist. So check all that apply. I would be willing to give up some of my salary if I had to, so that equal pay in my workplace could be a reality. Well, no. First of all, because the wage gap's a myth. It's been disproven by Harvard economists many times, men and women, several different times. Um, there is no evidence that for the same exact jobs, women get paid less because you would hire all women, um, if they did the same job. So no, that's stupid. Um, I believe that men and women should be equal. Yeah. With regards to political rights, I agree. I think that naturally, based on biological and sociological characteristics, men and women gravitate towards different things, but I think that they should be endowed with their same political rights. Um, I can't help but be bothered when a song includes misogynistic lyrics, even when I otherwise like the song. No, that's stupid. I enjoy a lot of rap music, and almost all rap music includes misogynistic lyrics. So if I was to be bothered by misogynistic lyrics, I would just be a curmudgeon that hates everything. So I disagree with that. I know who Bell Hooks is. I have no idea who that is. I can define intersectional feminism. I can define it. Uh, it doesn't mean I think it's intelligent. Intersectional feminism is the intersection or the amalgamation of different oppressed groups, um, going to kind of endeavoring to fix their oppression. And it's kind of a very hyper revolutionary movement, and I disagree with it. I don't use the phrase "hey guys" when referring to a group of people that includes men and women. If you are offended by this, I think you're honestly like beyond savior at this point. I don't know who was offended by this or who hurt you. Um, I have taken a women's and or gender studies class. I could major in women's studies. I can get a doctorate in women's studies, and I would still have absolutely no understanding of women. Uh, I think it's important to encourage girls to pursue a science and math as a career. I think it's important if they want to pursue science and math as a career that you encourage them. I don't think that you should encourage them any more than you would encourage boys to pursue science and math as a career. Um, Women should be able to. This is an infamous one that I've heard on a lot of videos on this. Women should be allowed to apply for a job if they fulfill 60% of the job requirements. Well, I believe you should be allowed to apply for a job if you fulfill the 0% of the job requirements. It's just applying. But if you're getting that job, 60%, they're called requirements. They're not options. They're not attributes or uh, characteristics that make you more conducive to doing that job. They're requirements. So that's inherently stupid. Um, I think we should change women's bathroom symbols to not include traditionally feminine clothing. Why does this like why is this an issue for people? I don't understand. This is kind of like a 2016 thing to me. I think some people have kind of gotten over this at some point. There are definitely some radical feminists that still um kind of have conniptions over this, but it's whatever. No, that's dumb. I believe trans people should be able to use whichever bathroom they identify with. Well, if they're legitimately transgender people with legitimate, um, who have received surgery and are indistinguishable from other members of their chosen gender, then no one would know. But if they look like The Rock with a wig and they're just pulling up to the women's bathroom, I think that could be a problem. So no, not under extenuating circumstances. I believe it's important to encourage women to negotiate. Um, I don't know what they mean by encourage them. Like, who would be encouraging them? Encouraging them? Just society. I think everyone should be able to negotiate. So I guess. Um, I believe Jennifer Lawrence should earn as much as her male co-stars. Jennifer Lawrence most likely earns more than her male co-stars, because she's the lead in a lot of her movies. So no, I mean she should earn as much as her role dictates she should earn. I don't think the government should legislate private businesses. Um, I do not think a movie should be released until it passes the Bechdel test. Now, I know what the Bechdel test is. It's something about like there has to be a woman in like at least a couple women or minorities or something. I know I have a loose understanding. There has to be a couple women or minorities in the plot that do something more that relatively consequential. I think that's stupid to try to kind of legislate movies. It's literally creative work. There's no reason there should be rules for creative work. It's just freedom of expression. I believe all genders, notice how they say all and not both, are entitled to the same social and political rights. Um, I mean, I can't really think of any situation where they're not, unless you talk about men um, not having the same, in the United States at least, not having the same custody rights as women. Um, so I guess uh, I can explain why 78 cents to the dollar is not a fully accurate description of the gender wage gap. I can explain that because the gender wage gap doesn't exist. Um, I believe that women who possess certain types of privilege are responsible for advocating for women who don't have the level of privilege. I don't think anyone's responsible for anyone else. I think that's a toxic collectivist thought. Uh, you're only responsible to your immediate community and your family and to your nation in matters of uh, domestic and foreign security, but you're not responsible for that's a dumb proposition. If I had a daughter, I would encourage her to be anything she wanted to be. Yeah, unless she wants to be like a prostitute or something. Um, I would make it clear to my daughter from an early age that her identity should never be defined by her relationship status. I mean, I from an early age, I wouldn't go telling my 3-year-old that, honey, you're never gonna have to, it's fine if you don't ever have a husband. She doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. But yeah, sure. I believe that it's important to compliment a woman's intelligence over her looks. Depends on which one she is, kind of which one she has. Like if she's stupid but she's attractive, then you're gonna tell her that she's attractive. You're not gonna lie to her. But if she has it, so I'm not gonna say that unilaterally. You have to say that. I believe that a woman has the right to choose what happens to her body. If you're connoting that abortion is her body, then you're just biologically inept. So I'm not going to click that. In the instance of sexual assault against a female, I am inclined to believe the assaulted person is telling the truth until proven otherwise. Um, inclined to believe is kind of a slippery thing because we have something called innocent until proven guilty in the United States and the Western world. So to be inclined to believe without evidence, if there's obvious evidence, then yes. And usually they are telling the truth. So I want to click this, but just because we have to go through legal recourse to ensure that they're telling the truth, um, I can't click that based on from a legal perspective. Um, I can explain Marlene Dietrich's influence. I have no idea who that is. I know what a bad feminist is. Yeah, all of them. Uh, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I think a bad feminist is like someone that I actually don't even know what that is. I don't know what they mean by capitalized bad feminist. I believe that women should be able to dress however they want without dictating how they are treated by society. To an extent, I mean, if you're dressing like a normal person and you just have a little bit of cleavage or something, that shouldn't dictate how you're treated. But if you're dressing like a stripper or if you're naked, I think society is naturally going to treat you differently. Um, so I can't click that because I mean I guess I'll click it for majority. I've never said that a woman asked for it. I cannot remember ever saying that. I'm offended by catcalling. I've never ever heard anyone catcall in my entire life. I've only heard it on the internet. Um, so I'm sure if I was female, I might have heard it, but I can't say I'm particularly offended by it because I've never heard it in real life. I don't think women should get VIP treatment at nightclubs and bars just for being women. If people want to give them VIP treatment, then they can. I don't think that there should be something that legislates against that. I think people need to stop taking themselves so seriously. I think police brutality and its correlation with race is a feminist issue. What? All right, moving on. I think we should stop promoting models as the ideal female body type. I agree, actually, because most model, at least uh, traditionally Victoria's Secret and swimsuit models, often are not even really attractive to the average person. And I don't know who kind of comes up with that ideal, that paradigm of attractiveness, but it's just wrong. They're far too thin. And I think that people there is I mean, they can be healthy if they're thin, but it's often to an extent of being unhealthy. So I wouldn't say I say that that's true. I think we should stop photoshopping women's bodies in the media. Um, I mean, don't think you should legislate what a company does, but I think that that's a good idea. I think Photoshop is stupid when you're using it to deceive people, but I think a company should be allowed to do it if they want. Um, I've never called a woman bossy. I mean, when I was like 4, probably in preschool, that's not really a part of my vocabulary. Um, so I'll say yes in my older years. I think companies should offer more child-friendly time and programs to women who are having children. I think you shouldn't legislate what companies do. I think companies, if they have the incentive to do that, and they think that it'll make them more appealing to their workers and as a result to consumers, then they'll do that anyway. Um, and you see that in a lot of companies that have done that without the impetus of government. So I think that they should do whatever they want. I believe that a woman should be offered the same opportunities for promotion as her male coworkers. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that if a woman wants to pay on a date, that her date should let her. Um, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I personally would probably pay if I had the means to do so. But uh, I suppose if she's adamant about it, I believe that women should have easy access to birth control. Should a lot of these are all about um like I said in my video yesterday, all about blind kind of blind desires without the means to provide those desires. So I think if they have the insurance, then they can get it. I believe that in a relationship, the domestic duties should be shared. Uh, well, I personally don't want my wife to have to work in the future. If she wants to work, then she can. But I want to be able to provide to the extent that she doesn't have to, or feel like she doesn't have to have a job. But if she wants to, she can. But so I'm not going to click that for that fact. I think a couple should have equal responsibility over the aesthetic and cleanliness of their home. Aesthetic, no, because I'm probably. I mean, I play The Sims. I'm a decent interior designer, but I don't know much about matching colors. I mean, I wear pretty much the same thing every day. So aesthetic, no. Cleanliness, sure. I believe men should be encouraged to be involved and make choices in the wedding planning process. Uh, should be encouraged. I mean, I guess. I'm gonna want my future wedding, if I ever find someone, to kind of be in the mold of what I want it to be. I believe that men and women have the same emotional strength. I think emotional strength is distinct from emotional volatility. Women are more emotionally volatile and more emotionally expressive. That doesn't mean they're emotionally weaker. It means they have different ways of manifesting their emotion. And men are more stolid and less vocal about their emotion, but they do tend to pent up anger or to build up anger a lot more than women, and they let it out in more destructive ways often. So I think we have the same emotional strength. I just think emotions are different. I do not think it's the responsibility of a man to protect a woman physically. I do think it's the responsibility of a man to protect a woman physically, especially if that man is her husband or a partner who is indebted to her, just in terms of physical protection. I believe that men and women should be equally encouraged to express their emotions. Um, yes, generally, again, generally, I do believe that. I've never asked a woman why she does not have children. I haven't. I mean, unless I'm like 3 years old again. Um, that's kind of a tactless thing to do. Also, I don't really talk to a lot of adult women like 40-year-olds. I usually talk to girls my age or like 17, 18. Um, I'd be equally excited to have a son or daughter. Yeah, I'd be equally excited if I knew I was having a child. I mean, I want sons like right now, but I don't. I'd be equally excited if I knew I was creating life. I think that would be amazing. Um, I think American workplace culture is often not structured in a way that is helpful or encouraging to women succeeding. Hold on, let me just make sure this is on. Okay, so I think it is structured. I think it is structured in a way that's encouraging to everyone to. What do you mean women succeeding? I think that's stupid. You know how many female CEOs there are? That's ridiculous. I think women have a responsibility to help and encourage other women to pursue their goals. I think so. I think that's a good idea. Women should be fighting for each other. I think women are equally capable of men to be president of the United States. Not last election, and the Democrats this year nominating two of the oldest, whitest men of all time. So yes, but in the future, not right now, like with the current candidates. I believe women have no responsibility to make a conscious effort to always be friendly and polite. I don't think anyone has that responsibility. You're just gonna look like a prick. But I suppose I've never criticized a woman for not wearing makeup or wearing too much makeup. Never to her face, but I've definitely criticized a woman for wearing too much makeup. And I think you're a liar if you say you haven't. So I believe a woman is a woman if that's what she calls herself, regardless of physical attributes and makeup. Nah, it's retarded. Okay, show me my results. You checked 22 out of 50. You are pretty woke. Okay, that's cringe. And you definitely try to stay informed on what's going. I don't think 22 out of 50 is 44%. So I don't really think that makes me a feminist. I think that just makes me a rational person. But yeah, I don't really agree with that. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is the bane of my existence. Yeah, this video has been pretty long, but I just wanted to make a quick video. Obviously, this is all one take, so you get my unfiltered opinions. And I appreciate you watching, and thumbs up if you want more of these, and you can comment what you thought of the video. Thank you.